Brownridge with 10 and Gill with 8.
And both got some early shots off, and then the opposing team said, wait a minute, we got to make sure we know where those guys are. I've noticed that Pacific has really done a good job from early in the game of tracking Brownridge and making sure that they don't leave him to help defensively. Too dangerous, and they know what he can do.
Tigers are going to get the basketball to start this second half.
Yeah, both of the teams took care of the basketball in that first. Santa Clara had only 5 turnovers, and Pacific got just 1 point off of that turnover. Here's an interesting thing, though. Pacific had just 4 turnovers, but 4 points off of those turnovers for Santa Clara. They converted each one into some points.
Boy, some heavy hitting right out of the gate. Kelly's going to go to the line to shoot 2. Jerry Brown hit with a foul. That's his second. And, boy, I tell you, they sent a message there. It's not going to be easy down low in the second half. Khalil Kelly, 59% on the season. He's kept in check in the previous meetings with the Broncos. 3 points at home, 2 points on the road. And Kelly now has 5 here in the rubber match. We'll watch number 23 away from the ball as he will continue to move as the foul is on Taku, and that's his second. The score box is brought to you by Platinum Roofing. When it comes to roofing, it's not just about stopping leaks anymore. It's about energy efficiency. There's Taku after a personal foul. Now it's Brownridge with the ball. Loses it driving in, knocked out of bounds off of Pacific.
Well, it's Aaron Short right now who has the responsibility to defend Brownridge, and he has been aggressively on him man-to-man here in the second half so far. And here he is, you see him clap, he's on him. He's going to have to face that ball screen out front.
There he gets it, knocks down the shot.
And if you're going to go over the top of that ball screen, then your help defense from Kelly has to be there a lot sooner. You cannot leave him that kind of room.
Brownridge with a dozen. Short, looking into Kelly. Now it's Bach. Gill open for 3. The foul will go against Santa Clara. And that's the third on Atunga. And quickly off the bench comes Robert Garrett, and Atunga will go out. Kelly deep in the corner. Bach wanted a foul, didn't get it. Clark's on the run, challenging Gill. Battle for the board, bodies are down, and a travel is called because Gill went down on the ground with the ball.
Possessed it, had control, and went down. And does a good job here. He's giving up ground, doesn't foul. And as he's trying to come up with this rebound, I don't know, it looked like he didn't have control until he had left his feet. He let that one go.
This is Brown hitting it back to Brownridge. Here's that screen again. Richard nearly loses his footing. Backs it out. He'll start over. Richard. Well defended by Taku and Gill over to help. 13 seconds on the shot clock, and the Broncos have it under the basket.
And Santa Clara does such a good job of that high ball screen. They have multiple guards that can handle the ball and use that ball screen with the big coming up to the top of the key and setting the screen and then making the read from there.
Garrett gets his own rebound. Brownridge for 3. Too strong. Look at the fight from Bach. He doesn't win the possession as it'll go to Santa Clara, but how about an effort there from Bach.
These two teams have really been getting after it. Bach doing a great job. We've seen Santa Clara on that side. Jerry Brown's been really active in getting after loose balls and rebounds in this one.
Brownridge so smooth from downtown. Now with 15. And the lead has been extended to 8. And how about that advantage on the offensive boards? 10-1 for Santa Clara. Taku to answer back. The air ball kept alive. In the corner. And that's Aaron Short.
But it's the hustle play that time of Khalil Kelly that made that play possible. Great job of saving that to his teammate for an open shot.
First 2 for Short. Clark with the left hand. Gill brings it down. Then Richard bats it around, and Gill restores order.
Oh, you cannot be careless with the basketball against the Santa Clara defense. They get after it.
Bach turns it over. Nowhere to go on the drive. Richard off the glass and in. And the lead is 8. That's the first 2 for Richard.
The turnover situation, not a lot of turnovers, but the turnovers have been costly for Pacific. They've resulted in points.
Boy, there was nearly another one. Taku into the lane. Short on the shot, but a fresh 35 with the extra effort. So here's Short again. You got to get some points from Gill. Taku has it stripped away, but there's Gill up again, and he will go to the line. Well, you pay the price going down there.
It has been intense. It was intense in the first half down low, but here in the second half it has been even more physical. They've taken it to another level, and I think that's great. That's what we expect in this game. When you got two teams that like to attack the way these do, you've got to meet that attack with physical play and position defense and get after it. These teams are getting after it right now.
Third foul on Brown. Gill's at the line. And we've got 3 subs in for each. Like a line change in hockey.
You think about as one of these two teams move on, I think the team that scares people, you know, I'm thinking about Gonzaga. Santa Clara is a scary team.
You can't guard them all.
Yeah, and the reason is, if they get really hot, they can pretty much beat anybody. If they get a couple of guys just going off and get on a hot streak shooting the basketball, they're a scary team.
Gill now with 10 points to lead the Tigers.
I think Pacific's a little more predictable of what you can expect from them. Very effective, good team.
Clark with a circus shot.
But so many scores for Santa Clara that could just go off. And they got a bunch of guys that you know, Brandon Clark and Jared Brownridge that score big, but they have a bunch of other guys that are capable of doing that.
They'll come in Saturday loose with nothing to lose if they can finish off Pacific. It'll be a fun game to watch. The Tigers, though, not quite finished here. Rivera,
that's
good looking move.
Beautiful jump hook by Rivera. Great body control to spin back over that left shoulder. The 6'7", 225-pound senior.
Rockamore backs it out. Here's Clark swooping into the lane. From the corner for 3.
Clark does such a good job of setting up his teammates with his ability to just take you off the dribble. He's going to beat his man off the dribble. He's going to force rotations inside. Then he's going to find the open shooter.
First shot for Nate Cratch. Rivera to answer back. Strong rebound for Wallace. 3-pointer Taylor. That's Rockamore. Santa Clara can open up the largest lead of the game. Get it to double digits.
Yeah, if I was a shooter, I would love to be on the same team with Clark. I'd know that I could just spot up out there, and eventually he would penetrate and find me.
Brownridge gets past Gill, gets enough space, and launches one.
Now, this is what I'm talking about. When they get shooting the basketball like they had this last couple of minutes, I mean, I think they can match up with anybody in this league.
Timeout Pacific. It's a 12-point game. 18 now for Jared Brownridge, living up to all those postseason honors announced earlier in the week. And there he is. He may just be getting going. 49-37, 14-16 to go here at the Orleans Arena. Brownridge from downtown for three on BYU TV.
There's nothing in the way. There's nothing left to say. There's just a perfect day for us to use. Why don't we wait here? I just wanna stay here. Why don't we wait here?
This life is a gift we all share. Shouldn't good health insurance be the same? Built around people, not profits. Governed by members, not corporations. Introducing Arches. It's the way healthcare gets better. For all of us.
Want to be part of BYU TV Sports anytime, day or night? Then go to BYUTVsports.com to create an account. Don't sweat it. It's really fast. Just link to one of your existing social networks or answer the questions. Next, get your gear on. Everyone wants to know what you got, so show your bio, profile picture, and nickname. In return, get a jersey in your favorite sport and number, and voila, you're already scoring points. It's time to go to BYUTVsports.com and be part of the action. BYUTVsports.com. Get in the game.
WCC basketball is brought to you by DexterLaw.com for help when you need it most. Emergency essentials. Be unprepared or BePrepared.com. Bodyguards, the ultimate device protection. Bodyguards.com. And by Siegfried and Jensen. Dave McCann, Blaine Fowler, welcome back inside the Orleans Arena. 49-37. Santa Clara has opened up its largest lead of the game with 14-16 to go. And so what does Pacific do now, Blaine, to climb back in it?
They've got to be more patient offensively, but defensively is where they got to make adjustments. They're not doing a good job of staying in front of the basketball. The rotations have got to be quicker, more decisive, and the help defense has got to be there. And then they got on the weak side, they got to get out and close on shooters. Right now, Santa Clara is putting on a clinic on how to break down the defense off the dribble and find the open shooter.
Earlier, the 10-seed LMU eliminated the 7-seed Portland Pilots, and here tonight, the 9-seed Broncos trying to knock off the 8-seed Tigers. It is a day for the underdog. Wallace. Good-looking dish to Rivera.
Very nice offensive set. Exactly what Pacific needed. And Pacific can't let Santa Clara speed them up and get in a hurry. They've got to take their time. Santa Clara's playing defense frantically. They're getting after it and extending a lot of effort defensively. Make them work a few extra seconds on the offensive end, so their legs are a little tired down here on the offensive end when they've worked on D.
Offensive fouls. Johnson driving out of control. Turns it back over to Pacific. 13:32 to go. Now the break here in Las Vegas. Broncos by a dozen on BYU TV.
When it comes to food storage supply, reactions can vary, which is why Daily Bread keeps taste, nutrition, and simple preparation in mind when creating food supplies. Daily Bread makes freeze-dried entrees that appeal to family members of all ages. And build your own meal plans allow families to select meal options that fit their needs. Learn more at dailybread.com.
It's easy for people to understand the elements of an injury claim if we compare an injury claim to a three-legged stool. First, a person has to be injured. Second, someone other than that person has to have caused the injuries. And then thirdly, there has to be insurance. So what we try to do first and foremost on every case is try to find an amicable, a friendly, and a fair resolution for our clients.
It's a 10-point game, 49-39. Santa Clara leading Pacific. Let's look at the Les Olson game management strategy. Brought to you by Les Olson Company, your business empowered.
We talk about rebounding the basketball, and right now, Santa Clara 26 boards to just 24 Pacific, but the big difference is 10 offensive rebounds for Santa Clara and just 5 for Pacific. Those 10 offensive rebounds, second chance opportunity. Santa Clara was 8 second chance points in this ball game.
Tigers with the ball. High point man on the floor is Jared Brownridge with 18. He's made 4 of 5 3-point shots.
As a team, this Santa Clara team is 47% from behind that 3-point arc tonight.
Rivera has been effective the last 2 times down the floor. Too strong on the one-hander. Brandon Clark. Seven points for Clark. He's been in double figures in 27 of the last 30 games. When you look at this lineup that Santa Clara has played, and you wonder how they lost 18 games over the course of the season.
It's just been about consistency. It really has, because they certainly have talent, young talent.
Rockamore to beat the shot clock.
Do they have quickness? Man, do they have quickness.
Rivera likes to go to the right, and he's held up and fouled by Nate Cratch before he could make his move. Ball out of bounds. Second foul on Cratch. Brownridge back into the game, and Brandon Clark will get a breather. Kelly returns for the Tigers, and Rivera goes out. Well, the first game tonight, we saw LMU down 13, and then they flipped the switch and won that game against Portland. See if Pacific has the same fate.
And LMU flipped the defensive switch, where they turned defense into offense and really got inside the...
Airball by Taylor.
They got inside the heads of Portland and had Portland wondering what they were doing and being hesitant and not doing a great job. Anthony Ireland texting some friends saying, yeah, pretty nice. We're going to stay a while longer if you don't mind. Well, he was a great part, spearheading, great part of that win, spearheading. The defense didn't score like we sometimes see him score in that ballgame, but he was stellar defensively.
Rockamore is fouled. He's going to shoot 3. Bach gets a hold of him. Timeout, 11:58 to go. And the Tigers down by 10. Rockamore shooting 3 when we come back on BYU TV.
RC Willey, with a selection of TVs and electronics, also offering professional delivery and installation. RC Willey, your home, your way.
The choice is yours at Chuck-A-Rama.
The kettle roasted turkey. It has big chunks of potatoes, it has fresh cut garden carrots, slices of onion, grandma's spices. Grandma? It's all combined together to slow cook in this Dutch oven.
The choice is yours at Chuck-A-Rama.
Next time on the Story Trek, I randomly end up in the Southwest, the land of enchantment, where in the middle of nowhere, I meet a girl from the other side of the world who's living her dream.
America is my first dream.
And two stories with one hit TV show in common. Not this TV show.
It would be nice to get a shot on TV and be an actor.
Join me next time for the Story Trek.
Monday at 8 Eastern, 6 Mountain on BYU TV.
WCC basketball is brought to you by Larry H. Miller, driven by you. Brady Industries, clean solutions, a tradition for generations. Platinum Roofing, it's about energy efficiency. And by Les Olson Company, your business empowered. We are just getting started on BYU TV. WCC Championships from Las Vegas tomorrow. Quarterfinal action in the women's bracket. Pacific in Portland at 3 Eastern. Pepperdine and BYU at roughly 5, we'll call it almost 5:30 Eastern time. Gonzaga and San Francisco in the nightcap with St. Mary's and San Diego, all on BYU TV tomorrow. We look forward to having you spend the Friday with us. And there's Rockemore. He's going to the line to shoot 3. And chance to give Santa Clara their largest lead of the game. And misses the first. I mean, the Tigers are not necessarily hitting their outside shot. This becomes a very critical time of this game. Rockemore gets the second.
Rockemore now in double figures, 10 points. He's 1 of 2 from the free throw line in the game, 3 of 8 from the field, and 2 of 5 from 3.
Over 1,600 points now for his career. 51-39. Full court pressure now. Taku all the way in. And the foul. Chance at his own three-point play, the more conventional way.
Well, that was a very patient move that time by Taku. Well, look at this. He sees that he can split the 2 defenders, and then just patiently gives a little ball fake, waits for the defender to go by. Gets it in with the foul.
MacArthur picks up the foul. Taku at the line. It's 3 fouls on MacArthur.
Taku averaging 10.8 points a game this season, so he's already over his average.
Now some full court pressure from the Tigers.
It'd be hard to pressure Santa Clara. They have just so many ball handlers.
Rockemore waits for Brownridge.
Pacific running the odd front zone defense of 3-2 to match up with a 3-guard alignment offensively. That's a problem. If you're going to be 2 down low, then those corners are a weak spot. If you get the ball down there.
Second 3 by Cratch. The Tigers are going, come on, we're guarding all the 3-point shooters. Steal by Johnson. And he's fouled. He'll go to the line. Aaron Short picks up his third.
9 of 18 from behind that 3-point line. And here comes the foul. The Santa Clara team on attack all game long.
Denzel Johnson, a junior out of Fresno. He's a 65% free throw shooter. That's the first to go down. 16 fouls on Santa Clara, just 3 on Pacific.
Denzel Johnson, versatile guard. He can play the point or play the 2. So he can come in off the bench at both spots.
Gets them both. Lead to 14. 4 points for Johnson. Under 11 minutes to go. The Tigers need something to get going here. Both teams shooting pretty well from the free throw line. But it's the 3-point line for Santa Clara that's really made the difference. Good defense by Johnson. Shot. Wallace had a good look, but there's some extra effort.
Santa Clara's had the advantage in offensive rebounds. Pacific gets one there and a putback, so second chance point. Second chance points for Pacific.
5 now for Short. Cratch has already hit 2 threes. Rockamore will try one. Wallace. Harassed there by Johnson. Knocks the ball out of bounds. Johnson gets back and stops the break. And the Tigers will have it out of bounds. Jerry Brown returns for Santa Clara. Taku bumped by Rockamore, and Rockamore picks up the foul. And that'll be a 1-on-1 situation for Pacific.
Second foul on Rockamore now.
Taku to the line, 77% on the year. Senior out of Tucson, Arizona. Trying to keep his college career alive.
Samataku has done a great job. He came to Pacific from Santa Rosa Junior College, where he led his team with an 18-point per game average as a sophomore, transferred in. 27 career double-figure games, and now he adds another to that, 28.
Gets them both to go down as Rivera returns. And Kelly goes out. Lead back to 10. The Tigers need some stops.
They've really struggled to be able to stop these high ball screens, and the guards for Santa Clara have made good reads. That one not a great read. Brownridge shooting a three-point shot against a double team from 5 feet behind the three-point line.
Rockamore with the left hand. He'll go to the line.
But how many times have we seen that in this ball game where Santa Clara takes a deep three, you get a long rebound, and they're the aggressive, quicker team, and they get to those long rebounds.
And credit Nate Cratch for that offensive board to keep things alive, and that allows Rockamore to go in and draw some contact.
You see the body down low of Tony Gill.
Gill with 2 fouls. The Broncos just keep bringing guards in off the bench. Now Clark is in after catching a breather, and Johnson goes out. Back to 12.
And not only is Santa Clara quick on that guard line, so they get by you. If you bump them and put them on the free throw line, it's a very good free throw shooting basketball team. So you want to play them aggressively, and they'll attack you. If you try to stay in front and pick up the foul, they'll knock down those free throws and make you pay.
Cratch on the rebound. They're 7th in the country in free throw shooting. Foul away from the ball, and that's Gill. And that'll be his 4th.
He's working down low against Jerry Brown, who's trying to fight for low post position. Gill picks up the foul.
He'll go to the bench with 9:10 to play in the game. So the biggest offensive weapon for the Tigers takes a seat. Brown. Rockamore passes on a shot. That's a rare pass by an open guard.
Boy, a guard for Santa Clara hesitating? I've never seen it before.
Clark working around a double team. And he draws contact. He's going to go to the line. Tigers are getting frustrated.
I was just about to say, it seemed like they did a better job of defending that ball screen, and in the end, Clark was just too quick, was able to turn the corner. Even though it was defended well, he was able to turn the corner and attack.
Wallace picks up the foul. Clark, 86% from the free throw line. Look down the line there, 86, 86, 77, 83. You got your typical big guys in there at 52 and 52, 54, but
and the key is they're high volume ball handlers, the guys that have the ball in their hands, especially at the end of games.
Yeah, they're in the 80s.
They're all good free throw shooters.
Nine points now for Clark. Brown with the steal. He draws contact and will go to the line.
And when Santa Clara does get a steal, Pacific just doesn't have the quickness to get back and to stop the ball in transition.
That's 4 on Aaron Short. Now, Brown is one of those guys we were talking about that's at around 52% from the line. He is 2 for 2 at the stripe so far tonight.
Just so hard and contact all over the place here. A little lower body bump, a little slap across the face.
Wallace goes out.
Game certainly has been the physical game that we thought that it would be. 2 aggressive defenses, 2 teams that attack, and that's a formula for a lot of physical play out there.
High arcing. Free throw, bounces in. Brown has 7. We look back to January 29th. Gonzaga and Santa Clara 54-52. The Bulldogs narrowly pull that out. And if the Broncos can hang on to their lead here, they'll get another shot at the top-seeded Dogs on Saturday night here on this neutral floor. Although there'll be plenty of Gonzaga fans in the house. They just haven't arrived yet. We expect to see them in here tomorrow night when the top-seeded women play on BYU TV. But that will be quite the battle if it holds serve here with 62-46. Kratz gets his 3rd foul, and that sends Kelly to the line.
Kelly struggled from the free throw line this season, shooting 58.6%. A little bit of a struggle.
One of 2 there. He hasn't had great efforts against this Santa Clara team. 3 and 2 points respectively in those earlier meetings. He has 6 here tonight. Rockamore waiting for Boundridge. I thought he was going to shoot from there. He just might.
Pacific playing that 3-2 zone now. We've seen them have success either attacking in the corners or going to the corners and then attacking the baseline against that 2-man back line in that zone.
Nice little head fake by Brown.
And Pacific is playing that 3 front zone to match up with those 3 shooters on the outside. You play an even front zone, a 2-3, and they have 3 shooters outside, then somebody's going to get open on the weak side. So it's a tough thing to try to zone a team that's shooting the ball this way.
10 points for Brown.
Pacific comes back and they play man now.
Clark will go right back to Brown. Left hand up over Kelly. 19-point lead. Bach. You can call it jump ball. The possession arrow is going to go to Santa Clara. It's all going to Santa Clara here in the second half. 6:59 to go. Timeout. 10-1 run for the Broncos. 66-47. You're on BYU TV.
You really do need to be prepared. Sure, it could be an earthquake or a tornado, but also could be a job loss.
You can learn more about emergency essentials by visiting beprepared.com.
If you're adequately prepared, you can survive anything.
R.C. Willey, providing a selection of bedroom furniture and mattresses, helping people get a good night's sleep. Delivery of new and removal of old mattresses included. R.C. Willey, your home, your way.
A month of Granite Flats Season 1 Encores begins this Sunday.
I don't know if you can hear me, or even know where I am. So, did you see it? The comet? It was amazing. And I was thinking, I'm going to go find it.
Don't miss the Encore this Sunday. Season 2 premieres Sunday, April 6th on BYU TV.
The number 1 team in the country is the king of the West Coast Conference.
been a fun start to our season, and I'm happy with where we're at right now.
The W.TV, the energy of the West Coast Conference on your browser, smartphone, and tablet. All the action, anytime, anywhere.
66-47, Santa Clara leading Pacific. Let's take a look at the brackets. Here in this first round of the WCC Championships. Winner moving on to face top seed Gonzaga on Saturday night. Earlier today, LMU upset Portland, and the Lions will face the second seed BYU Cougars on Saturday. And there's Jerry Brown. What a night he's had.
Played very, very well. He's been so active on both ends of the floor.
8 rebounds, 12 points, 4 for 4 from the free throw line.
It's because you unjinxed him. You said he was only a 52% free throw shooter, and then he immediately knocks down 4 straight.
I did unjinx him. He's also 4 for 4 from the field. He's perfect tonight. Rockamore calling for some help. See the speed of Clark to break that defense.
This is where it's tough, even if you're trying to trap the Santa Clara team. Guards have so much quickness, it's hard to get them trapped. And it's just been a steady diet.
Look at him slice right through, knock down the shot.
Steady diet. Coming at that high screen, and Pacific's just struggled to defend it all night long.
Double figures again for the 28th time for Clark. McGehee battling down low with Jerry Brown, and Brown may have been hit with a pushback, and he picks up the foul. It'll be his 4th. 21-point lead for Santa Clara as Brown comes out, and John MacArthur returns. He's like, hey, what? Gary Keating there to coach him up a bit. He'll sit down. McGehee gets the first to go.
There's a lot of big guys today that with nice touch and good rotation on the ball from the free throw line.
Tigers are going to finish their first season back in the WCC 15-15. And they got a lot of seniors to replace as they move forward. As Tim Thomas, a senior from Sheridan, Wyoming, checks back in for Pacific.
You'll see a lot of this pressure down the stretch, but once they get the ball in bounds, they drop back. These guards with quickness can break pressure in the backcourt one-on-one very easily.
Driving and more contact as Clark will go back to the free throw line. He'll shoot 2. Free throws piling up.
Just so hard for Taylor or any of these defenders to stay in front of Brandon Clark. We've seen it all night long. Either he uses that screen or calls the screen off and takes it on his own. And if you foul him, 86.6% from the free throw line.
Tonight, Santa Clara is 16 of 19. Points for Brandon Clark. Gonzaga, Blaine, obviously a better defensive team, and they're 2-0 against Santa Clara this season. Again, that last meeting, just a 2-point difference. What do you expect Saturday night?
Gonzaga will do a much better job of defending that. The ball screen up top. Their bigs will come out. They'll have good rotations, and it won't be quite so easy. They're very solid defensively, and the Zags have a good combination of speed and quickness on the perimeter and good size inside. I don't expect Santa Clara against the Zags to have the offensive rebounding type effort that they're having in this one.
Yeah. Atonga gets the foul, his 4th. gives the ball back to Pacific.
And sometimes it's not just about the quickness to stay in front of the defender, because most teams don't have on-the-ball defenders, multiple guys that can stay in front of the kind of quickness that Santa Clara has. But it's about defensive rotations and help defense and having your bigs in the right spot. And that weak side defense getting down and defending where they're supposed to be. You play team defense against speedy guards. And Pacific's had breakdowns in this one.
Taylor gets the lead back to 16. There's Clark running through the defense. Rockamore. Brownridge hanging out in the corner now. He comes up. Shot clock's at 10. Rockamore falling away. Knocked out of bounds. It'll be Santa Clara ball. More subs coming in. Gill returns. Aguirre back in. Rivera and Thomas go back to the Pacific bench. Brownridge for three. Tigers on the run. This is Wallace. He'll go to the line. They're trying to make a push here.
Good defense leads to good things on the other end, and almost had the strength to finish that one, did Wallace.
Slapped by Rockamore, his third foul. Freshman out of Stockton, TJ Wallace. 3 points tonight. Looking for his fourth right here. 7 rebounds. Been very active. Chasing down the ball.
Wallace is a guy that had a great afternoon against Loyola. At 6'3", so he's a guy that can score. Well, they're getting to the point where they need some threes right now. They need some penetration and kicks to the outside. Some guys start knocking down shots. If they're going to have any chance at all, it has to happen right now. And they got to get stopped. Santa Clara in no hurry at all. Come out, run that half-court offense, move the basketball around, and when that shot clock is winding down, they've got the guards to get their own shot or to use that screen.
It's a 7-0 run for Pacific. Brownridge off the dribble.
That time they defended the screen extremely well. Came out, big hedged on the screen. They stopped it. They tried to turn the corner the other direction. The guard came and helped, and they cut off those lanes of penetration that time, and it was defended well. That's the formula right there, but we haven't seen that very often tonight out of Pacific.
First foul on Clark. That sends Taku to the line. Both teams right on the money from the free throw line.
And as they have been all season long, these are good free throw shooting teams.
There's a miss by Taku. They'll go back up and try another. $8-0 run for the Tigers. Aaron Short returns, and Taku will be out for a few minutes. The lead cut down to 13. This pressure has quieted Santa Clara for the moment. Brownridge into the corner, crash for three, and he's got another. That's his third.
Everything is going down. How's that created? Well, another drive and kick to the corner.
Gill answering back off the front end. He'll get another look here. Cratch brings it out, hands it to Brownridge. Great effort by Cratch tonight off the bench. Brownridge high off the glass.
Beautiful shot. So creative what he does with the basketball that time.
A shooter's touch indeed. And Kerry Keating calls for a timeout. Has that lead back up to 18 with 3:33 to go.
Watch this touch. So Brownridge's going to go. He's going to cross over and turn the corner. And watch him. It's almost like a little finger roll off the glass. Soft, beautiful shot.
20 points for Brownridge. That's as high as you can go.
That's a good looking shot off the glass with great touch. For Kerry Keating. You know, that lead started to shrink just a little bit, Dave, and it was when Santa Clara started to slow down offensively and try to just milk that clock. You look at the three-point situation, 10 of 22. Santa Clara is going to be hard to beat when they shoot that well from the three-point line. But when they slowed it down and were using all the shot clock, they kind of got out of that attack rhythm, and Pacific started to creep back a little bit. Now we've seen 2 times in a row down the floor Santa Clara attack again, and they extend that lead back out to 18.
18-point differential in three-point production and an 18-point difference on the scoreboard. Mark's going to go back to the line, shoot some more. It's going to take us to another timeout. 3:24 to go. Santa Clara just moments away from moving on to take on top seed Gonzaga.
My emotion for the entire weekend when I was a 9 and 10-year-old literally was riding on whether BYU won their football game or not.
Was?
Okay.
Or is?
Okay. Look, I have a problem. I get it.
BYU Sports Nation on BYU Radio is off and running. We've already heard from Steve Young, ESPN's Joe Tessitore, Sports Illustrated's Jeff Benedict, and the big guy on Managed Mondays. Listen to BYU Sports Nation, sports radio above the fray. Weekdays at noon Eastern, 10 a.m. Mountain, live on BYU Radio.
75-57, Santa Clara leading Pacific with 3:24 to go. Let's go inside the play, Blaine.
Santa Clara's 10 of 22 from three-point line. They've done a great job with their inside-out game. So we're looking at Brandon Clark. He's going to penetrate from the opposite side. Now he's got 3 choices on the backside and 1 defender. Good spacing on the backside. In this instance, he's going to look to Cratch, Nate Cratch in the corner, who's done a great job in this one. Wide open. Feet set on that three-point line, and that's been the formula. They've done a really nice job of breaking down the defense, getting into the paint, and then distributing the ball back out to the perimeter. Look at Cratch, 3 for 3. Brownridge is 4 for 7. Rockamore is 2 for 6.
Yeah, what's wrong with him?
Well, you know what? Most of his haven't been. His have been taking threes off the dribble and coming off of a screen, taking it on his own. Where Cratch is 3 for 3. He's just spot up shooting from the perimeter. His toes sitting on that three-point line, all squared up, ready to receive the ball. And Brandon Clark, this guy's getting him the ball in a great spot to make a shot. Those are the kind of threes that are easy to make.
Shot's good. Another stat that jumps off the page. Pacific has 9 turnovers. Santa Clara has 7. And yet the Broncos have a 15-3 advantage in points off of those turnovers.
Yeah, when Pacific, those 9 turnovers have resulted directly in 15 points. That's impressive.
15 points for Brandon Clark tonight. 2 shy of his season average. Honorable mention. Well, WCC. Good spin move to the basket and finish by T.J. Wallace. Rockamore. This is Brownridge. MacArthur's going to wait. Rockamore will come around and get it from him. Broncos have stayed on the attack, even with the 18-point lead. Rockamore. Nice little kiss off the glass. And a lead to 20. Rockamore with 15.
Rockamore, as he penetrated the defenders for Pacific inside that should have been helping look like statues in there, not moving.
Taylor answering back, and a timeout called with 2:27 to go. We'll keep it right here.
Watch as Rockamore breaks down the D off the dribble. You've got to have rotations. They got to be quicker than that. You got to know if you're in the back end of that defense and you see him one-on-one on the outside, he's going to beat the defender one-on-one. It's just going to happen. So you got to start thinking about who helps. If I'm the guy, where do I come from and how quickly do I need to get there?
His fan club's been busy with the sign tonight. They're going to have to update that poster for Saturday night. I'm not sure what he's got going on with his hair. Is that a lightning bolt or?
It looks like. Yeah, I think it's.
Is it? You think it's a lightning?
Whatever it is, it's
it seems to be
absolutely aerodynamic because he's got tremendous quickness. Looks a little bit like the side of the Air Force Academy football helmet.
It really does. Here he is. Hands it right over to Brownridge.
Some good work. Whoever did that is skill, I'll tell you that.
Shot clock at 10. We near 2 minutes. Rockamore from way outside. Bouncing around there. Another offensive rebound.
That's so demoralizing. You're down in the ball game. You defend, do a decent job for a full shot clock, and they get an offensive rebound. Reset the thing.
Brownridge gets a direct order from Keating to back it out. Shot clock under 10 again. Brownridge. Rockamore. Oh, what a play.
Are you kidding me? Well, that was a great play. And it's so much awareness of where the shot clock was to come up with that air ball and turn around and knock it down to the bottom of the net.
Let's take another look at this.
But look, how did he have the presence to come up with that play?
17 now for the Foothill High School product.
That was a great play. Look, he's coming from the opposite side of the floor. He sees the short shot, grabs it, all in one motion and goes upward. That was just a great play.
It says everything about his career when you look at assists and points and steals. Just knows what's going on. And I guess that play captures just about everything you get out of a senior who finds a way to contribute all over the floor. Gives a thumbs up to his family.
134th career game. All-time assist leader.
Well, good for him. 20-point lead. Grew up in Henderson, about 20 minutes from this side of town where the Orleans Arena is. Taylor for three. McGeehee on the rebound. We've got a whistle before the shot. And another foul. The battling continues even in the final minute. McGeehee's going to go to the line as Robert Garrett picks up his second. Santa Clara is going to boost their record to 14-18. And then they'll get the #1 seed, Gonzaga Bulldogs. Robert Garrett goes to the end of the bench, exchanging high fives with some happy teammates. McGeehee gets the second one to go. He has 3 points. Andrew Pappenfuss into the game for Santa Clara, getting a few seconds here. And there he's got the ball.
So if you're the Zags right now. What do you think about the Santa Clara team? You got to really be thinking about coming with a mindset to defend, because they're going to attack you.
And you also got to know that they believe they can go toe-to-toe with it because they just did.
Yeah, and I think this is a very, very confident team, not just because of that, because of what they did in this ball game.
Yeah.
So they have the advantage that they've got a game under their belts.
In for 2 is Taylor, and that should do it. 81-64, and it is Santa Clara advancing to play Gonzaga on Saturday. And another lower seed is bounced from the WCC. It started with Loyola Marymount sending home the 7-seed Pilots of Portland, and now the 8-seed Tigers sent packing by number 9 Santa Clara. Here's the Dexter and Dexter play of the game. Dexter and Dexter helps when you need it most. DexterLaw.com. Brownridge from downtown. He's calling for the ball, Blaine, and he's got it.
As it was all night, it was Brandon Clark who set him up. Ball's going to go all the way into the left corner. Now here comes penetration from Clark. He kicks it on the skip pass to the opposite side. Bam! Brownridge knocking down the shot. And all game long, it was the ability of Santa Clara's guards to break down the defense that resulted in good things for this Bronco team.
Final stats brought to you by Larry H. Miller. Driven by you. And those 3-point shots sure made a big difference.
A huge difference. 10 of 24 from the 3-point line, just 4 of 18 for the Pacific Tigers, and that was the difference in the ballgame. Both teams, we knew, excellent free throw shooting teams, but look at the rebounding advantage also for the Broncos, and offensive rebounds were a big story, especially in the first half in this ballgame.
So we've updated the brackets, and let's show you how it looks after day 1 of the WCC championships. And we have Santa Clara moving on to take on Gonzaga on Saturday. And earlier, LMU advancing to take on BYU on Saturday. 81-64, the Broncos are winners. We'll see them as the weekend continues. Back tomorrow with 4 games in the women's quarterfinals here on BYU TV. It's going to be a great basketball weekend.